This is Kimberly. I'm here at 𝗭𝗶𝗹𝗂 in Zimbabwe, and we're on our very first game count. We hope we'll do this over and over. We had a lot we learned on this trip that we didn't know going into it. One of them is because your vehicle is your home for 24 hours, the bigger vehicle you have means you'll be able to find your sunscreen, your bug spray, your food, your water, glasses, because you don't want to be getting your flashlight out and it's supposed to have a red light. You think that will be helpful, but it's still really hard once the sun goes down because the sun is really 6 to 6. So it goes down at 6, it's a long night, and if you need to start finding things, it gets difficult. So bigger car gives you more room. We brought a lot of food, probably too much food, but they do recommend that you have all the water and food you'll need. And a spade or a shovel so that you can bury when you're using the bathroom. We're bringing all of our trash out. We also learned that we had taken a lot of notes about the animals ahead of time, and we created some cheat sheets, but we feel like we've learned some of the easiest ways to identify them are boiling them down to a certain feature. Like a water buck has a white circle around its butt, or an impala has a black M on its butt, so it's the McDonald's of the bush, little things like that. So we're going to try and put those together for future programs to make it easier. And in terms of setting up your sort of camp at night, if there's any possibility of lines, and there are here, then you don't get out of your car at night unless it's absolutely necessary for the bathroom. You couldn't see them. In fact, we are in a lion area. We were here all night, didn't see them. As soon as the sun came up, we saw 11. So the nighttime is a difficult time for safety.
Cool.
Okay, and in terms of finding the pan that you are assigned to, because there will be 3 to 5 people assigned to a pan, they'll give you a map. It's not going to be a great map, and it may not even be accurate. What I'd recommend, what we found to be the most accurate, was before I got here, I went to Google Maps, I clicked on my profile, and then I downloaded Zimbabwe maps. I didn't know if it would work when I got here. So I have no mobile data here. I have no cell signal, but the GPS works. So if you keep your GPS on and open up the Google Maps, the issue is the name of your seep is probably not in your in the map. So what you want to do is when we check in, we go and ask what are the closest features that you can search. Like in this case, there's a lodge 10 kilometers away. So we put that lodge in and it got us that far, and then the people at the lodge got us the next spot. But I would say it's very helpful all over Zimbabwe. In fact, in terms of connectivity, except perhaps Cuba, it's probably the least amount of connectivity ever. AT&T, for example, said there's coverage here, but there's only 2 or 3 spots where I might get a text or two. Aside from that, no data, no cell signal. There is Wi-Fi here and there, and that's really what you're going to rely on. Our group here is divided into different pans, and so we actually have a satellite phone, and the other group has one, so we can communicate. It is slow, it is not super reliable, but it's better than nothing. And we've programmed in the numbers in case there's a medical emergency or event. They can get a helicopter here very quickly because we are not far from Victoria Falls. As the crow flies, we're about 40 miles, so a helicopter can cover that very quickly in what it takes us hours to go. So that's the way we're looking at it in terms of safety.
Oh.
Also, once it is daybreak and you're trying to determine if it's safe to put your chairs out, you can either bring chairs or buy like $7 chairs at the local hardware. Actually, it's the 𝗭𝗶𝗺𝗯𝗃 has the best options. But what you'll want to do is wait until you know it's safe, and then anything that you have, you need to put the car around it in the entire silhouette. You don't want to be outside of the footprint of the car because the animals are looking for a silhouette of a human figure, and that is much more agitating to them. They're used to seeing these safari lodge game drives, so they're used to seeing vehicles, but not humans walking out by themselves. So you need to kind of appear as one big, large grouping, clump, and that's a measure of safety there. And I do say a measure of safety because I think it's important to know This is a much more natural environment in Zimbabwe than other places if you've ever gone on game drives, and there aren't people out here to help you. There are lions, there are water buffalo, there are hippos and crocodiles. It's real. There was a villager killed a couple of weeks ago walking a long distance to a borehole. So you're just walking in this environment is not a good idea. But it is beautiful. And the other thing I'll say is we were all concerned about what it would be like sleeping in the car last night in terms of heat and mosquitoes. We really didn't have any mosquitoes, which surprised us. And because it got down to about 60, 61, does that sound right? So, you know, all you needed really was a light jacket, and it was perfectly comfortable. So you'll enjoy that.